give you a high five. Don't leave me hanging, Nia. This is our last night in Placencia, and one sec. This is our last night in Placencia, and we're just having a bit of fun. There's something through there.
Well, he's drier than we are.
Not for long.
We got our crew scrubbing the boat. Gotta get a ship shape before we get to Guatemala. Talk about our lucky day. We just met a boat here. It's a catamaran just out here, out in the distance. They were chartering from Minnesota, and they came over. We were chatting, and then they said, actually, we have a few extra leftover things because we're done our week, and they have brought us 3 bags already, and now these 2 bags with a whole bunch of things that were on my list: canned butter, breadcrumbs, popcorn, cleaning supplies, bug spray, cigarette packages unopened that we can give away. This is like paying it forward. So we hope that we can do something like this for other sailors when our year is up, because that's really awesome.
Dad's got a tight back right now from some crazy driving, so I'm getting him loosened up so he's not so grumpy. We were sailing from Belize to Guatemala and trying to enter Guatemala.
Sailing's been nothing but motoring today because there's no wind. The sea is flat. But up ahead, it's called Mons Key. Look at it, it's beautiful. The glassy seas at the end of Belize. Guatemala's just on the other side of this.
It's officially goodbye Belize, hello Guatemala. We left Belize this morning, or Placencia anyways, and we stopped at DeNovo Keys for a swim and a paddleboard play around.
The slow way to go. But where our boat is, to 9 meters of water, and then not 100 meters away, it's so shallow it's up to my knees right there.
Definitely the exact same thing I pictured.
We're at Tres Punta, 3 points, at anchor. Livingston is 10 kilometers across, 10 nautical miles across the bay. We're gonna leave at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning because we have to hit up a high tide at 6:25-ish. Because Livingston is in between 2 really high sandbars, and we have a 6-foot draft below us, water's edge. A catamaran in the background there, doing sunset. Beautiful. I'm just heading into the water because we've got our fishing line caught on our prop. Or bad, we forgot to fill it or reel it in. We were dropping the sails and getting our motor.
Holy shit, it's dirty.
It's so dirty?
Yeah.
Dirty, that's why it's so black looking.
Yeah, maybe with the light I can't even see. Too scary? Yeah, as far as brackish water for sharks, this is it.
Alright. We'll try again when?
I thought maybe the bottom was just dark.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured.
No, it's filthy. Like, it looks like there's snot floating all around you.
I know. That's what I saw sort of churned up. Weird. So then, what do we do about the line on the prop?
Well, we were obviously
Motoring with it.
Yeah, there's a cutter on there, so it's. I was just hoping to maybe save the hoochie.
Yeah. Well, it's hot down below. Let's have the fan running. Longer slept up top. But I don't know. Around 2 or 3, the boat started getting really rocky. We went to bed with glass, calm seas, and then all of a sudden it's like whoa, whoa, whoa. So I got up to see what was going on. We heard yelling, and it was 2 boats beside us picking up their anchor. Rio Dulce. And they were leaving what I thought was really early. Too early. And I was consulting with the captain whether we should pick up anchor and go. And so we got ourselves slowly started. I figure we left about half an hour-ish after the other two boats. And now we're gaining on them. I think we'll all arrive in Rio Dulce entrance about half an hour early from the high tide. So we're going to play it by ear. One of the things we talked about is if we end up hitting the sandbar and running aground, do we get ourselves out or do we call for help? So it might be an exciting morning. The sad part is I think we're pretty tired, so we might not be making the best decisions. Big waves this morning. The river entrance up there. Apparently if you do run aground, it costs 200. We're not sure if it's 200 Q, which is the local currency, or 200 American dollars to tilt you over and push you through. We're hoping not to do that. I see a catamaran up there and it's got no problem. No keel to worry about. It's moving into the little village.
It's a lot of pressure on me. I really don't want to get stuck here, and I don't want to have to try and figure out how to get help in Spanish. And there's two boats following me because I have some waypoints that I got for some cruisers who recently left. So they're all relying on me as well.
But
Which just adds to the pressure.
You have a smaller draft than they do, so you want to follow
smaller
them.
than the first and second player, the next boat, but same as the second one.
You were saying something about your hands shaking? And your blood pressure skyrocketing? So we're not even reading anything below. We felt the keel touch 3 times. It's super shallow here. It's changing its course to follow the waypoints to try to find as much water beneath the keel. Stressed captain in the back. Still nothing on the depth. We were back on for a moment. On to hit his checkpoint. Now this reads below our keel, and our keel is 2 meters. So it's 2.1 meters of water, which means there's about 10 centimeters below our keel. So any little bob means a touchdown. Like right there, it just touched. We haven't run aground. Just touching bottom. Hopefully it's sandy and our paint isn't scraping off. Arrived in Livingston. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Town. It's old school. Awesome.
So we just recently, or today, changed jobs because we were all getting bored of our old jobs and we'd all kind of like mastered them. So I was downstairs poking the chain, Jasper was doing the anchor, and Mom was driving, and now we did a full loop. So Jasper is now poking the chain, I'm driving, and Mom's doing the anchor. And after we get good at this, we're going to switch again. So we make it to Livingston, and we have to check in. So we all go into town to check it out. We're hungry. So we dinghy into town, and it's quite different than Mexico and the other places we visited. The parks, like there's a park there, but it was a lot smaller. Everything was made of stone, and everyone seemed to do everything like more more by themselves, I guess. And so we walked into there, and the first thing you see is like a whole bunch of gardeners trimming trees, like making them look all perfect. And then you see this little park with like stone slides. Me and Jasper didn't decide to go on the stone slides though, because we knew our butts would get scraped. They weren't that nice of slides. But there's also these cool metal swings, which are just like metal bars. And then they had a backrest too, and this little metal bar that slid down, so it was like a seatbelt in the swing. And those are really fun to swing on, but they're also really creaky. That was the first time we'd been on a swing like that. I found that really fun. And then we walked up the town, like up the big hill on the road. And there's this really cool place where it's like a fountain of water in the middle, and it's like a pool, not really a fountain pouring out. But there's a whole bunch of these women washing everyone's, like, their family's clothing, and it's so cool because they have those old school, like, old washboards that they use, and there's a whole bunch of metal ones there that anyone's free to use. They just bring their soap, pour the water on, do some laundry, and then leave. And I thought that was really cool, like, to see all the ladies there together doing their laundry, and it's a good way for them to meet up. That was cool. We got to hang out mostly because we got this guy Raul that everyone gets apparently to do our paperwork for us, so we didn't have to like jump from office to office in the town. So we got to hang out more or less, and then Dad just had to sign all the papers, finalize everything, meet Raul, and then we got to go back to the boat. Welcome to the jungle, yeah! Entering the Rio Dulce River. We start heading up the river. And the river is very twisty, so we have to turn every few moments. We're listening to podcasts, and we're just twisting up the river. In the Rio Dulce River, and same with Livingston, the water was exceptionally murky and dirty, very full of silt, which was kind of gross. No one wanted to swim in it. It was also early though, so it made sense that we didn't want to swim. But no one wanted to swim in it. But on the outside, it was really cool because it was surrounded by walls of jungle, which I thought were really beautiful. And then there was the canoers that were fishing, like they had the fishing lines behind them. You got throwing the fishing line. And they would sometimes paddle into these little caves in the side of the jungle wall. And you don't know where they're going, but they know everything about this town. So I think it would be really interesting to find out what's in there. At about 5:30 p.m. we make it up the river, and we get to this place on the river called Texan Bay. And at Texan Bay it's pretty chill, like not many boats there. The next day we don't get up that early, but we have to sail on to the Rio Dulce. And so last night we were me and Dad were up here because Dad was afraid someone was gonna steal something. So we slept up here, and then in the middle of the night, around like 4 a.m., it just started pouring rain. So we had to close all the hatches quickly, go downstairs, close the top of that so water wouldn't get in, and it was just pouring down so hard you could hear it all. And so Dad kept checking to make sure no one was up here randomly because he thought he heard something. He said they were ghosts. But yeah, everything went well last night, and we just opened some of the hatches this morning, and everything got wet still because it was all piled on there. I can't see over this thing very well. I can't see behind the mast very well, but I can look around.
Yes, I can see over the steering wheel.
Thanks for watching our video. Join us next time when we head inland to Guatemala, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.